Welcome back to Whiskey Thoughts, the part of the show where we each take a shot of whiskey. We will bare our soul and we'll let you in on the MMA-related thoughts of two degenerates. The whiskey of the week this week is Four Roses, I believe, right?
Yeah, Four Roses again.
Four Roses doing the damn thing. And we will go ahead and video these thoughts. We'll put them on Simply MMA podcast Instagram. And, yeah, that's about it. And YouTube. We'll do it all. Yes, YouTube. Especially give us some follows and some subscribes. You or me first?
I'll go first.
All right. Down the hatch it goes. Beautiful.
My whiskey thought comes from Bryce Mitchell. After the fight,
Beautiful.
He gave a post-fight speech saying that he wanted, some of his freedoms back. He didn't want to be forced to wear a mask. And he spoke his opinion on the whole, having to wear a mask issue. And of course, people lost their shit about that.
As they do.
And it just made me think, so often, people online and people in the MMA media speak fondly of letting fighters, exercise the First Amendment rights, freedom of speech. And they always stick up for the fighters when they come out against Dana White. And they're always like, more power to the fighters. Yes, yes. But I guess it just relates to people that they agree with, because the second Bryce Mitchell did that, people were talking about how dumb he was. They were making condescending remarks, putting him in memes. Like, so what? You just support the fighters and their right to speak out when you agree with it, and then it's like that ties in with the whole Colby Covington thing. They call him sexist, homophobic, and they just rag on him because he supports Trump. But there's plenty of fighters that are friends and have taken pictures with like that Chechnyan dictator.
Yeah.
They've said sexist and homophobic things, and you don't hear a peep
and
about
he's like
what
killing gay people, right?
Yeah,
he's doing some terrible
and what
things
they don't
over
say anything because what it's it's like why because you're not a fan of Trump, so you just like trash people that support him and call and label them all these terrible things, but other people doing the exact same thing, if not worse, not a peep. Why? Because you don't want to talk bad about their religion, or it's like, I just don't like when things are so unfair. You just pick and choose. You only agree with things if you agree with it, and if not, then you just act like that person is beneath you. So that's just my wasted thoughts. Like, let's just be fair. Let Bryce Mitchell talk about how he feels about the mask, right? Yeah. You guys always want the fighters to speak their truth and have more power and to exercise.
It's possibly to respectfully disagree, and not just shit on them.
It's just annoying.
Yeah, just because you don't agree. Agreed, man. That's a good one. I'll go ahead and take my whiskey thought or shot thought. Oh, that one hit a little different. My whiskey thought this week is actually similar to a old one that I had, but it rings especially true this week. I had as
get your shit together.
The old wet mouth hits. I had a slow night at work the other night, and my coworkers were all looking at the latest polls, talking about, who's going to win this state, who's going to win the other. And obviously there's a lot of unrest regarding the Trump and Biden election coming up in 2 days now. But meanwhile this is happening, I'm currently on my computer looking up fight shit, looking up who's going to win between Glover Teixeira and Thiago Santos, looking up their every detail so I can really know. And so that was my whiskey thought is, now more than ever, how great is it to have something to kind of just get away from the chaos of
How dare you? You should accept that this is where we are in this country.
Yeah.
You want a reprieve from this?
Yeah, and then just jump on.
You're just a fucking white male.
Because people just really want to dwell on like all the shitty things happening. And while there are shitty things happening, it's nice to just get away from it, to watch some fights and just
I love that,
not think about it.
I love that visual. Everybody else is like looking at the polls and CNN. You over there. Okay, so Santos takedown defense. All right,
or not even that.
Over 42. Holy shit!
The undercard, looking at these random ass guys that aren't even like big names yet. And meanwhile, they're who wins Arkansas, who wins all these fucking So that was my whiskey thought. Thank you UFC and MMA for still being a thing that I can escape the reality of life. Sometimes.
Yeah, hopefully Romanov throws his coach this week.
That would be awesome. Yeah, that would be awesome.